one of the movies that we've been talking about on a non-theatrical level has been the new Eddie Murphy film, My Name is Dolemite, which is now dropped and is online. I actually got together for dinner with Robert Meyer Burnett last night, and he reminded me it's online now. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to cut this dinner short because I'm going to go home and watch it. And sure enough, I did. And I'll tell you what, it's everything I was hoping it would be. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, just so I don't, because I enjoyed it so much, I don't want to create a false expectation that this is not a top 5 movie of the year for me or anything like that. But if you're looking for Eddie Murphy to make a triumphant return, likened unto Caesar riding on his chariot into Rome, this is his chariot. And you could tell, like, from the first scene of the movie, the movie opens with him and Snoop Dogg having this, first of all, done, sold, right there. Opening scene of this movie, Eddie Murphy with Snoop Dogg, heard enough, signed the contract. Right from there, it sets the tone. I feel like, Rob, after that first scene, I fully understand this character.
Right.
Eddie, and that's not because it's a simplistic character. It's because Eddie Murphy and the script of it did it in such a way that in 2 minutes, I felt like I knew the heart of this character, which is really great because then the rest of the movie, I spend discovering all the different other corners of the character and just get to enjoy his ride along the way. Now, of course, different characters come along. I really enjoyed Keegan-Michael Key in this movie a lot. The album covers were killing me.
They're all real.
I know. I mean, just the way they came about, it's like, we already got an idea. And then they model stand here right there in front of them. I thought this was a delightful film. I thought it was a fun film. I thought it had all the right energy. It never went over the top either. Like, I felt like it would push the limit, but always pulled back just before it went too a little bit over the top. And it is a wonderful example of peppering in, having the right balance to the film, great humor, every once in a while peppering in some real emotional serious. There's this great moment earlier in the film as Eddie Murphy's having like dinner in a diner with a bunch of his buddies, and they kind of make fun of him a little bit, but it really hits him about where he is in his life. And the scene follows him then outside, and it's just the dialogue he gives at that point. It's like, oh yeah, this is a dude's life. This isn't just some. It's a wonderful, great little movie, and I was really happy to see. Rob, you actually saw it before I did and turned me on to the fact that it was now online. What did you think about this film?
You know, it's despite the language and some of the sexual content, which I of course love, the movie is a delightful. It really is delightful, but it's very uplifting. You know, it's about a dreamer. It's about a man who wants to succeed in the entertainment business. It's a man who ends up after suffering some adversity, and he goes after his dream, and he succeeds. But it still has that scrappy underdog. We're going to make a movie even though we've never made a movie before. And one of the things, like, I grew up when at the dawn of the home video era in the 80s, I watched a lot of Blaxploitation movies. And the Dolemite films, Rudy Ray Moore, who he made Dolemite, he made the sequel to Human Tornado, he made Disco Godfather. You know, these were movies that I watched, and you get to see in the movie, they sort of combine Dolemite and the Human Tornado into one movie, but you get to see them shooting these scenes, and Wesley Snipes plays an actor who then directed the first movie, Dolemite. And it's hilarious. I mean, I was literally laughing out loud. And if you can go back and you can watch the actual movies or clips on YouTube, just watch the trailers and you'll see the scenes that they shot. I adore this movie. And like you, I don't know if it's one of the best movies of the year, but it's certainly one of the most heartfelt and fun movies of the year. This movie will put a smile on your face from beginning to end. Like you said, the opening scene with Snoop Dogg, all the way to, I mean, even the end of the movie, there's like a scene, Rudy Ray Moore, Eddie Murphy is E.T. to this kid who looks up to him, and there's just this great, just a moment of him bringing joy to the next generation, and man, I love this movie.
Question here is, guys, have you had a chance to see this new Eddie Murphy film? If so, what did you think? Did you like it as much as we did? More? Less? What did you think about it? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.